Hello museum friends, I am Mariana, staff member of La Quinta Museum, presenting our Dia de Muertos celebration cultural clips. In this video, I will talk about the Day of the Dead altars, one of the most important traditions of this holiday. We set these altars, or ofrendas in Spanish, to commemorate and offer our loved ones who have passed their favorite things, drinks or foods, and don't be surprised to see cans of soda or football shirts on a Day of the Dead altar as well. Next, I'm going to talk about the meaning of the elements of these altars with the altar I created at home and the one I made out of a cigar box.
The most common altars have 3 levels, which represent heaven, earth, and the underworld. With more elaborated ofrendas, you can find up to 7 levels. But every state in Mexico has its own particular way of setting up their ofrendas. In some regions, you can find a flat surface with all the elements on it, while in others you can find it in several levels. Candles are one of the main elements in every altar. The flames don't only represent the light that will guide the spirits. In some indigenous traditions, each candle represents a dead loved one. In the Christian tradition, it also represents the light of faith and hope. Marigolds, or cempasúchil. This flower is used since ancient times for its medicinal properties, brings a unique color to the shrine that makes the spirits feel joyful and peaceful. You can find them in orange and purple, representing the earth and grief respectively. They are also thought to guide the spirits thanks to their potent and fresh scent. Papel Picado is a very common traditional decoration used in most Mexican festivities. Each sheet displays a particular figure, and on Day of the Dead, most of them display skulls and skeletons in festive scenarios. The Papel Picado is used both to represent the festive part of the celebration and to guide the spirit through its movement in the wind, and it also represents the fragility of life. For many cultures and religions, salt is an element of purification. Generally, salt is put in small clay recipients or around the shrine to purify the spirit's soul, so that their body doesn't get tainted during their journey to the land of the living, and they can find their way back the next year. Water is also a very important element because it's the source of life. It's believed that after a long journey, the first thing that the spirit wants is a glass of water to quench their thirst. For some indigenous communities, water is thought to represent the purity of the soul too. Photographs are the most important when it comes to setting up your altar, since it's thought that this way they can recognize their own home. Though that part of the photo being essential to be able to go back is just for story, in some regions, the photograph is placed strategically so that it can be seen through a mirror to remind the spirits that they are welcome on this date. Food is also a very important part of the altar, because what kind of celebration would it be without food, right? There are some elements that can be found in almost all altars, like pan de muerto, a sweet round bread that represents the bones and skull of the dead, the cardinal points, and the cycle of life and death. Also, we can find fruits and the dead person's favorite food on it so they can taste it through the smell. Sugar skulls are skull-shaped treats decorated with bright colors. In some cases, people write the name of the deceased on the skull's forehead, but this isn't really necessary. Sugar skulls are also made with chocolate or amaranth. They are mainly for decoration purposes, and they have become icons not only of the celebration but of Mexican culture worldwide. They might look appealing and delicious, but I wouldn't recommend eating one, not even a small. As you can see, Day of the Dead is a very complex tradition in which what matters the most is honoring and celebrating those who have departed before us. It has the solemnity and respect for the dead that Christian and pre-Columbian traditions had, but with joyful and peculiar sense of humor that characterizes Mexico. In all that, a vibrant, emotional, and colorful festivity to celebrate life and death.
Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, and please send your creations to our Gmail, laquintamuseum@gmail.com, before the 29th. and we'll be launching our Day of the Dead celebration video on November 2nd.